our next presenter, Mr. Dmytro Matviiv. Mr. Dmytro Matviiv, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, let me just check that everything works good. Yeah, it's working. Perfect. Hello, I'm Dmytro, and I'm from Ukraine. And actually, I would like to talk about overcoming regulation challenges in crypto markets globally. So Vara, Mica, EGM, and more. Who we are? So first of all, we actually one of the biggest cybersecurity providers in the world, crowdsourced security providers. So bug bounty, crowdsourced community, and we're working officially with Ethereum Foundation, with OKX, Huobi, Near, MetaMask, and many other companies for more than 8 years. We also work with banks, governments, protocols, exchanges, wallets, stablecoins. And we actually have more than 45,000 security researchers, and they daily have some rewards for finding valuable vulnerabilities. And why this matters? So as you know, market actually grew from 3.8 billions in 2024 to actually 8-10 trillion by 2026. And by actually this time, we also have total value hacked in Web3 so far 15 billions. And regulators actually, they expect not having just labels that you did some audits or penetration testing, but they also expecting to have continuous security. So if you take a look at picture, you can see that we had only 5 regulators in 2018, and now we have more than 50. So generally, there was a US market who actually regulated exchanges and tokens and etc. There was actually Japan, who was one of the first regulator in crypto market after one of hacked exchange, which is called GOX. And there was also Switzerland, who also was working for regulations. Now we have US B2C and ETH ETFs live. We have actually Mica. We have more than 40 licenses for in Europe. Yes, we have UA like Vara and EDCON. We have also Asia, Hong Kong, Japan, and etc. So how actually that happens? So regulations is not only that market actually decided to be regulated, you know, like money, they influence on the market, but everything was happening like long time ago in 2019. As you know, CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, they were very famous aggregators for tokens and other exchanges and crypto projects. Everyone wanted to be listed there. And in early 2019, CoinGecko decided to implement some kind of rating for exchanges with Third.life. And they built those methodology to sort somehow those exchanges. Then actually they decided that many scams on the market, and they decided to implement new categories in 2022. This is where trust score appear on a CoinGecko. Now you can actually visit CoinGecko website, go let's say to CoinGecko exchanges, and you find out that all exchanges by default is sorted by trust score. So at the moment, trust score is one of the main indicator at CoinGecko where each regulator, each company can come and see what kind of stuff exchanges has. So nowadays, CoinGecko has proof reserve, they have actually team engagement, they have bug bounty, penetration testing, etc. And you can actually see how you can implement or how you can interact with some crypto exchange. So why is this happening right now? First of all, it's about money, yes? So we have more than 600 million cryptocurrencies owners on the market. And we have actually more than 100 billion crypto ETFs. So we have investors. Where we have investors, we have new projects, idea, and etc., new businesses. So here we also have what taxes. So regulators, they try to understand where they can get some actually clear rules and also have some financial stuff. But also it's about fines. So officially, because we have some unofficial statistics, but officially we have 1.2 million from VARA, and we have more than 4.5 millions for ML and KYC fines for exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, BitMEX, Kraken, and etc. So actually strict compliance and rapid scaling and plus hacks, they push industry to regulations and to self-regulations. So I actually tried to take 10 regulators in the market and make some kind of map to explain what actually they have core and what similar approach they advise to market for everyone. Since we implementing many stuff and helping projects to be compliant in terms of security, we actually decided to make some categories for, so I made a few groups. One group is actually for DORA MICA, so it's Europe, VARA, Singapore. Another group actually for Bermuda, Argentina, Japan, EDCON, Switzerland. One more group is actually for US and for Hong Kong. And I made the categories to show you how actually they similar to some approaches. So for example, if you take a look at some cybersecurity stuff like policy or penetration testing or lead penetration testing, you can find out that some groups have not obligatory, but let's say even in Japan, if you have smart contracts, regulator doesn't say that you need to do smart contracts audits. It says that you have to protect your project and implement security best practice and etc. So that is why I mark this as no, but actually many regulators require to have audits by default. And also some categories like security assessments, insurance, digital assets, and cryptography stuff is also implemented by many regulators. What actually that means? Continuous security. So if you take a look at some frameworks, so they had, let's say, penetration testing. But what is penetration testing? So you actually take your code or you take a ready application, come to some third-party providers, they review your code, they give you a paper, certificate that everything good works, and then you disappear for 1 year. And these problems was appeared a few years ago when many exchanges did some kind of penetration testing, but then disappeared. So that is why regulators implement more monitoring stuff, like let's say they do proof of reserve. Some of them require to have 2 proof reserves per year, like for example VARA in Dubai. Some of them require to have daily monitoring, but doesn't specify like stricter rules. So some of them is required to have penetration testing, but some of them bug bounty. So bug bounty is when you hold the time listing your projects at crowdsourced platform, and then security researchers come and submit reports. And so right now, regulators more going to monitoring and implementing security rules where everything is controlling all the time. Let's take a look at one case what's happening with Bybit. So you know Bybit actually they got license in Europe. And we were part of this history. So we actually helped them to get this license. And you can take a look that probably almost whole scope was related to security. So license actually required to have smart contract logic, not an infrastructure, wallet security, API, and actually incident response. And started they in early 2024 when they opened office in Vienna. So this was the beginning. And then they started to implement license faster in February. As you know, Bybit was hacked for 1.3 billion this year. And so they started to make fast proof reserve and all stuff around security and implementation of a license. And they got license in 4 months in May 2025. So what actually they did also, it's a full team and resources. So they separated operations, they separated entity and etc. But if you back to what I showed before, and if you would like to scale and do more stuff around regulators, if you implement the main stuff for each regulators like penetration testing, legal entity, if you implement smart contracts audits and etc., you can actually easily scale to any regulators because they have similar approach. And if you take a look at new changes of regulators, they are going to be almost similar to each of other. And also about budget. So we don't have official information so far, but actually communities, they calculated, and about 40% of budget for getting a license go to security, 30% for legal, and 30% for operations. Also, since we're talking and working with some regulators, many of them requires to have compliance dashboard, and they have, so they testing. So mainly they asking for risk assessments, for real-time monitoring, compliance insurance, and security stuff, regulatory arrangement, and actually they have individual dashboards. So they try to implement some stuff like daily monitoring, see what is happening with proof reserve. Did the company active? Did they respond to, let's say, some providers? For example, you have exchange, you host exchange with some bug bounty platform, and the platform, for example, specify that you as a company doesn't reply for hackers' requests for 1 week or 1 month. And what is happening is that actually CoinGecko, for example, deletes your trust score at their platform, then actually you have like notification for regulators and etc. So in this way, everything is related to security. Also about upcoming regulatory milestones. So as you see, MiCA, they actually started in December 2024, but actually they have those grace period by July 2026. So companies actually, they try to implement licenses, they try to build their local entity, etc., to be fully compliant with MiCA. DORA, same. So actually, first mandatory TLPT, so penetration testing that I mentioned before, you can find here. Now it's going to be, where it's particularly was for DORA, now it's going to be mandatory. Yes, so it's something that is coming soon. Also, Dubai Wara, they actually do more strict marketing rules as well, because you know, like crypto is about making some good marketing, run token, get money, and disappear. So they don't want to make this spam around crypto projects. And yeah, so they have stricter rules. Of course, Hong Kong compliance, full actually VATP compliance also is coming. Japan, as you hear before, you're going to be also more stricter for the security itself. And US. In US, as you know, right now, much easier to do business with the crypto. And at the same time, they try to regulate it, make clear rules, especially for stable coins. And yeah, so actually some kind of checklist for compliance. First of all, you need to understand what's the activities for regulators. You need to implement continuous security, because as I mentioned, continuous security is actually main stuff for almost all regulators. evidence pack, so actually understand what is your KPI for business, policy, vendors, governments with whom you're going to work, and localization. So it's very important to understand how business works, what is rules, what is travel rules, and etc. Yeah, and a few takes away from me. First of all, if you going to work with regulators, so first of all, regulation coverage is still building, so it's influenced you, but not so much as security, because even if you're not regulated by a regulator, someone can steal your money. And actually, compliance allows you to partner with some local companies faster. Because if you know that someone have license, at least they are not scammers. At least they can build some build business with you together. And yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to write me. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for attention.
ありがとうございました。Thank you very much.